right, how's it going, everyone? Tyler Hopkins here with the Hopkins Projects. Sorry for the mess all around me. I work from home in my basement, and things have been obviously a little hectic around here. So, what we're going to be going over today, instead of focusing on the problems that are going on now that it's June 2020, there's a lot of issues going on with businesses reopening. And I think there are a lot of people who are wondering, what type of business or project should they have done pre-pandemic. And obviously, in hindsight, a lot of these businesses we would choose today. That's obviously in hindsight. So we didn't know that most people would be working from home or not working at all. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to go over what types of businesses or what type of business to start post-pandemic. And why we're going to go over this is just in case something like this ever happens again, or if the majority of the population is not allowed to work, or if you have to work from home, what are some of the types of businesses that you can start now? So instead, we're going to be focusing on the positives and how you can move forward with whatever kind of project you're interested in post-pandemic. So the number one business I think we can all understand is any kind of online business or product is pretty much going to be quote unquote pandemic proof, even though nothing is completely foolproof. Something can always happen, just like the pandemic. It could be something completely different that we can't really anticipate. So what we'll use is the current environment, what we're learning about it, then how can we de-risk as much as possible the type of business that we would create moving in through 2020 as businesses are reopening. So the number one thing that I like to go over is being more of a solo entrepreneur is really going to help in a time like this because, for one, having minimal staff is pretty much required these days just to help the spread, if you will. But if something like this happens again and a lot of people are laid off, having minimal staff is really going to help. And if you can do a project that's completely from home or something that you can do completely on your own, that's really going to help in case, you have to stay home injured. Let's say another one of these incidences happen to where you're required to stay home. Having a business that you're already doing on the side or full-time even is really going to help you maintain your livelihood. It'll keep you busy during these times. And I'm going to use not only my own business, but my mentor's business and my brother's business. During the pandemic, all of our businesses have grown. And that's the type of thing that I want to cover. What type of business was it? And use our example for something that you can actually build moving forward. So the number one thing would be an online product. So my business is Immunity, and I do a lot of side projects. So I already work from home. So that was a huge benefit for me because, I was already working from home. You can't force me to go work at home when I'm already doing it. So having an online product, like having an Etsy store or something you can do completely on your own from home is going to be a huge benefit because, for one, it's going to give you the freedom to continue to work while maybe everyone else is not working. You're not going to be required to have a lot of staff if you are more of a solo entrepreneur and you do all the different tasks on your own. And I know everyone can't do that, but if you keep it to minimal staff, like let's say you just need somebody else who can do a lot of your graphics or help you with your digital side, just having one person isn't as big of an issue as if you had a small business that required 5 employees. It requires you to have a brick and mortar location. So all those different variables is what we're going to go over and how to de-risk the type of business. And the number one thing I would say is if you can do a business from home, create an online product, either a product or a service, that's really going to help you. Mine is Immunity. So all the different products that I offer the market, it's all online. I don't require a brick and mortar location. I get people who are searching for elderberry products or immunity boosting products. They find our website, they find our Etsy page, or they find us on Amazon, And we're able to continue to do business that way because I fulfill and do everything in-house to where I don't need staff, I don't need management. Um, I can ship the product directly to the consumer. Post offices were obviously open. It's an essential business. So I was able to go to the post office every single day and send out packages. And for my business and why it grew during this time is because a lot of people were searching for elderberry because it came on the news that elderberry helps boost your immune system. It could be one of the products or things that you do to proactively prevent yourself from getting a virus. So obviously that was important over the last 3 months and why our business, exploded at that time. Luckily, we were in business and we weren't trying to get into business. So we had some products on stock already. But after a couple weeks, all of the inventory was pretty much gone. So then you have those types of issues to where if you require ingredients for your products, it's going to be a little bit different than if you make your product. Like if you have some kind of craft business that you do from home, you make jewelry, you make candles, whatever it is. If it's easy to get the ingredients that are required for it, then you shouldn't really have a problem when businesses start to shut down. We were having issues finding elderberries because it was in high demand. And that was pretty much the only reason we had to shut down the business for a week or two, was because we were waiting for products to come in. But again, that's a good problem to have. I was continuing to work. I was able to provide a service and a product that people needed, especially in a time when people weren't sure if they were going to catch this thing or not. So that would be my suggestion. Try to figure out, is there a product that you can create on your own from home or with minimal staff? Number 2, we'll go over is an online service. So my brother is a really good example of this because he was already moving more and more of his business online, and he does a martial arts business type service to where they do different types of marketing and business development for other jiu-jitsu schools and martial arts schools. So they were already helping these businesses start to transition to online. So if you have a gym, like a martial arts gym or a taekwondo school, karate school, whatever it is, and during this pandemic, when everyone has to be, 6 feet away, can't really come into much contact, that was when businesses were open. But those types of businesses have been shut down for months, which causes these types of businesses, if you don't move online, you're going to lose all of your customers. So they were helping businesses transition to online. So if you can make your business of more of an online service, like an information product or some kind of a service online, accounting, whatever it is, if it's completely online, then more chances than not you're going to stay in business in case of some kind of a pandemic or some kind of an incident where people are required to stay home. And more things are moving online. So if you get into the online type services, it's going to be more likely you're going to stay in business than if you try to open up a brick and mortar. And if you do open up a brick and mortar, I would try to figure out the quickest way that you can put a lot of the business online. And a gym or a martial arts gym is a good example of this because a lot of their businesses had to completely shut down for months. And the ones who are using an online service, like my brothers, it really helped them stay open because they could teach their classes online through an online portal. That's when Zoom was really taking off, a lot of online type conferences. So they were able to actually provide that service not only to gyms, but to their own students. So while kids are cooped up in their house, not able to go out and play or to see friends or to do the activities they were used to, like going to the gym and doing martial arts, they were able to move that to an online class to where everyone wins. The business is able to stay open and offer a service. The kids who have to be forced to stay home are able to do something of normalcy. They're able to go to their jiu-jitsu class or their karate class, talk to their professors. The parents win. That was a great idea on their part, and that's why their business really took off. And it's blanking on me what their name is, but I'll go ahead and put it down here once I finish recording. And then also my mentor's business is another good example of minimal staff business. So this would be like the next level up of a business if it's not completely online or it requires a brick and mortar. So his business is a good example because it's natural hair dye that you do at home. So while everybody's at home not being able to go to the salon, he's able to ship these packages of natural hair dye to the consumer and they apply it themselves. So instead of them getting crazy hair and their hair's turning gray and they want to cover it on a monthly basis, they're able to still do this. And their business was able to grow because those people who are typically going to a salon and using chemical products, they're not even able to do that. So a lot of these people are also forced into, if they want to get their hair done, to do it yourself. Again, this isn't a business to get into during this time, but if you obviously have a business set up that people are going to need from home, like any kind of do-it-yourself from home, is going to be a good idea during these crazy circumstances when people are forced to be at home, and they're also forced to shop and do business online. So if you can fill that void and offer a service or a product that people need while they're at home, then that's obviously going to be more foolproof than if you try to open up a business, brick and mortar, that's non-essential. So his business is discoverynaturals.com, which they offer a variety of different products that help you live a more natural lifestyle. So they have shampoo, conditioner, they have their hair dye, they have a couple other products, but it's meant to get the chemicals out of your life. So, and they're all online. So they do ship some to different businesses that have their own storefronts, but in a nutshell, they are an online business, and that's also why they grew. So let's wrap this up. So basically what we covered is what type of business should you go into if you're thinking about it post the pandemic. I don't think it's a great idea to open a restaurant these days unless you can just get crazy deals on your lease. You can get crazy deals on your inventory, on your staffing. But the thing is, even businesses that are opening now, you're at limited capacity to where now might not be the good time to do that. And then the other issue is in case there is a second wave or another instance like this happens, that you're going to want to be prepared to not completely go out of business before you even get started. So hope that all makes sense. And again, I'm a big proponent on being a solo entrepreneur, which is what I am. So obviously it's easier for me to talk about it, to where you can have all the different hats of the business, to where, yeah, it might be more work, but you also have more control and you have typically better margins. So if you want to de-risk your business, it's going to take some time to learn how to make a product, do the labels, manage customers, do the online marketing, all those different facets. And the easiest way to do it, I think, is to just start an Etsy shop, find a product or a service or something you enjoy doing on a daily basis. Me, it was marketing. Me, it was kind of like product development, making labels, finding niche products. That's why we did immunity. That's why we did an elderberry syrup product, which wasn't as popular 4 months ago, but it's starting to gain in popularity. And most of the people even watching this, you probably don't even know what an elderberry is. A lot of people, they don't even know what their immune system is. So there's still a huge market to where they still need to be informed. They need to be updated what products exist on the market. And you can do that same thing. Find something you're passionate about. Now I'm starting to go down this rabbit hole of juicing, potentially doing a juice bar in 2 years. So I might just keep this immunity business going and then maybe start transitioning immunity into immunity juicery. So have two components to where we can not only provide teas and syrups, but also juice and any type of other brick and mortar type juicery. So we're thinking about different things moving forward. So what we want to do with the COVIDXX is just share some of the things that I'm learning while I'm doing not only my own businesses, but also my brother has a good business that we can use an example. My mentor, I want to try to get him on this series to go over some of the things that he's seeing post-pandemic. What are the things that we can learn moving forward and actually setting up a business or a project that actually makes sense post-pandemic? And instead of focusing on all the negatives, we'll start focusing on how we can move forward, how we can start building brands and businesses that can make sense in 2020. So hopefully you've enjoyed, and until next time, love you all. Bye-bye.